So we named our project HESUDI pill because it's cool. Yeah. And here's part of our team. A couple of people are in the audience listening and watching that we do everything right. But we'll just start with some contents. First we're going to go through what was the old project idea, and then I'll tell you about what changes we made to the project, and then talk a bit about stakeholders. Then we'll have a use case diagram and some operations, and then we're going to show you the 3D model we made, and then talk about business case, and then our conclusions. So let's go. So in the old project idea, there was a medication reminder that was made using a smartphone with a pill case, and the smartphone was connected to the pill case so that you could carry it with you. And there was also a fall detection application, and they were both connected to open electronic health records. So now I'm going to show you some of the things we decided to change about the project. We decided to just concentrate on the medication reminder, since we decided that it was a bit difficult to make two different projects at the same time, because they weren't that tightly connected, since they both used open EHR, but otherwise they weren't that connected. And we decided that the smartphone and pill case were only used in a prototype, since we noticed that it was a bit difficult to use the pill case with different phones that the one it was designed for. So we decided we would use a printed circuit board with necessary input and output devices, and for example a Raspberry Pi. But since we didn't have a Raspberry Pi or anything, we decided to just make the prototype using the smartphone. Then we also thought that there could be a cheaper version that would be only with the pill case, and then there would be a camera connected to the pill case and a Bluetooth connection, so that the case would send information to your smartphone when to take the medication. And then we also decided we will try to do the application and the user interface for the application. And also we decided to modify the case so that it would work better, since there was the case in the first project, there was the hole where you got the pills out was also moving with the case, so we decided we would fix it a bit. So we made a 3D model of the new case, and we'll be showing you that later, and some more information about the case also. Then the stakeholders, we were thinking that there's, the users of course, who would be probably elder people, since they have to take quite a lot of medication during the day, like many times during the day, but also people who have a long-term illness, so that they need to remember to take medications every day. Then family members of the users, since it would make their life also easier, and they wouldn't have to worry that much about their relatives. And then pharmacies and doctors, of course, pharmacies, because we're thinking that the filling of the days with medication could happen in a pharmacy, and also then elderly-oriented companies and health-oriented companies and insurance companies. Next, we'll go to the use case.
So we divided the stakeholders into four actors. We have the patient, which are the users, caregivers, pharmacists, and an open EHR implementation. The patient will, of course, get the medicine, and or if they are able enough, also use the device to fill the case. The caregivers will help to fill the case, which will also be something the pharmacists can do, but for the pharmacist it's especially important that they can check all the medicines someone is taking to check for bad drug interactions. And our device will also connect to an open EHR implementation to get the prescription from all the doctors. Here I'll try to illustrate one of the operations, the pill reminder. So when you device at any given time is in an idle state where the screen is just black, and when it's time for the medication, an alarm will go off. And if the user doesn't press the button to notify that he's heard the alarm, the alarm will get louder. Then later there will be a voice calling the user, and in the end there will be the device will call a registered phone number, usually probably a relative. But if the user presses the button, then the device checks if the right compartment is on, and if it's not, it will tell the user to turn until the right compartment is selected. And when the right compartment is selected, the device will briefly show OK on the screen, and then show the list of medicine that are to be taken at a given time. When the user takes all the medicine, presses finish, and the device goes back to idle state. And if he forgets to press finish, it goes back to the alarm state. While filling the case, from the idle state, you can press a button, and the screen will display when is the next time to take the medication. And there will also be a button for options. If you press options, you can choose to either show a list of the medication, which will be useful for pharmacists, a schedule, the option to fill, or to update. Update means that it will go to the OpenEHR implementation and get the prescriptions. So let's check what happens when we have to fill it. The device will check if the right compartment is on top. This means where the hole is in the case. If it's not, it will tell the user to turn until the right compartment is selected. When it's selected, it will say that it's OK, and just for a few moments, and then tell which medications go in. And when the user is done with filling, if this is the last compartment, it will go back to the menu. Otherwise, it will tell it to turn again and fill the next compartment.
Alright, I will talk about the model a bit. We thought about changeable wheels, so you can, so a pharmacist can fill up like 4 wheels, and then you can change the wheels if they're empty. I thought about snapping it into one way, so you can only turn the wheel in one way. I haven't modeled that, but we thought it was handy to have. And here's some measurements of the case. You would like to have as small measurements as possible, so it's easy to take with you. And now I'm going to show the model. On the bottom of it, there's a display and a speaker. Here's the speaker, and here's the display. Here's a plug to charge it if it's empty. And a camera to see which compartment the wheel is on. So, and I also modeled the door to take out the medicine, and a top to hold everything together so it doesn't fall apart. Let's see. Well, I modeled these two parts. These two parts move separately, so the middle part will move and the outer part will not move. I can't show you that now, but yeah. And now later on, Ben will tell something about the specifications, what will be in the base station of the model.
I'll show you just some of the this is when it's time to take a pill. Button. You press the button, so then it reminds you to take the pill, and it's just a small arrow to turn the wheel. So we decided to make the screens as easy as possible, so it would be simple for the user to understand what they have to do, since we are focusing on elderly people and not to make it too confusing for them.
Right, so let's talk business for a moment. Is the product useful and functional? We think so. Is it marketable? Are there other people doing something similar out there? Yeah, pretty much, because nothing is new under the sun, yeah? We did our research and we found out that there are a number of products that are related to what we have designed, and the official name for that's an automatic pill dispenser. We were able to zero in on like the 3 most popular models out there right now, and cross-check it with our own proposal and see how it stacks up in terms of its market advantage. Long story short, they come from different parts of the world that are all popular in use within Europe. Their price range varies across the countries in which they are manufactured. The MD1, which is manufactured in Sweden, is the most expensive at 209 euros, while the Chinese model is the cheapest. No surprises there. Capacity is roughly the same across all models, and they are all characterized by lightweight. Pretty much, they all boast good portability, and power source varies. Some rely on non-rechargeable batteries, while some do. While the Swedish model relies on electric charging. They all offer some form of notifications to the users, mainly alarms, that's noise, and light. And they also boast other features, depending on which one is the most expensive and which one is not. That's all good, but we think ours does offer extra features, which we will highlight towards the end. One of the advantages why we think ours will start up is in the area of cost as well. We were able to do a preliminary costing, that's like a basic initial costing. I should stress that it's very initial. This should in no way be represented as the final evaluation of the cost. But we think that by focusing on using quality components for the crucial areas, just like the PCB and the camera and the micro speaker, and by reducing costs on some of the other components, production cost per unit can be kept as low as 125. We apply the principles of bulk purchasing and economies of scale. It can drive production costs down, we're estimated to be 125. And if we go with the industry average of 30% markup on price, we estimate that the selling price will be 162.5 euros. That puts us at par with that does offer an attractive future, because we're able to offer a cheaper product than the best model out there, but still with some good quality features as well. So, in terms of functionality, it pays off, and we think in terms of market value, it has an advantage. So, to go over it, it ranks It can offer good portability. It's easy to take around for the user. And seeing as the users are mostly elderly people, that's a good advantage. It offers more notification features than other products out there, where most of them use alarms and light. We offer text messaging and other things like that. More crucially, if by any chance the user is on any sort of medication other than that contained within the product, it has a feature to build in that medicine schedule into the product as well. So it not just reminds the user to take the medication inside the HESUDI pill, but also reminds the user of the other medicine schedules as well. So it offers that kind of, it cares more for the user in that sense. And it has a good price range. The Chinese product is still cheaper, but hey, it offers a good price range, and it offers both electric charging and battery options, unlike some of the other good models out there which offer just battery options. Overall, it is more user-friendly than other products. Generally, the advantage of this is that it will offer the user convenience and improve their health. It will offer the healthcare sector convenience as well by reducing any complications that can arise from patients forgetting to take their medication, and it will offer the investor good return on investment. So everybody happy. All right, thank you. That's what